Hi, this is Rob Rodman for Adapt Chicago Productions. Today we welcome back Lynn Pedotto. We missed you. Lynn, what have you been up to in the last few months?
Well, I've been doing a lot with my way from Adaptive Chicago Productions. I created this project called This is Autism Faces from the Puzzle.
Okay,
and I'm here to talk with you guys about it today. Well, it's a pictorial with stories interspersed throughout it about people and individuals with autism, and then there's stories.
Okay.
And it's something that I want to create to bring awareness and also to create a sense of community.
Right. What is your background with autism?
Okay, well, I have two children with autism.
Wow.
One is 13 and one is almost a 15-year-old.
Wow.
They're great kids.
Right.
And, you know, very different from each other,
Wow.
which is part of the story behind this project, and that
Wow.
autism is such a varied disorder.
Right.
And it's, you know, there's a huge spectrum.
Right. And what are their names, if you don't mind my telling?
Oh, yeah, it's Nicholas and Nathan. Nicholas
Right.
is almost 15 and Nathan is the 13-year-old.
And can you just real quick, what is autism?
From what I've read and, you know, living with autism, it's a neurological disorder, and it affects children and people in terms of social communication. There's a lot of sensory and processing disorders. There can be repetitive behavior, but it's all a spectrum.
Yeah.
So they have like 5 different things that they will determine whether or not someone has autism.
Right.
But you can be anywhere at any point on these rungs, if you think of them as like rungs of a ladder.
How did you come up with this idea?
Well, so one day my son, Nathan, he'd been, actually for like several weeks, he'd been just going through a really rough time.
Wow.
There was a lot of transition at school. It was a new school year. He was coming home really angry, and just his whole body, like the energy in his body, you could feel all the tenseness and the stress. And he destroyed his room one day.
Oh, wow.
And I remember I went upstairs and I saw the picture skewed, and he had actually torn the headboard out from the wall because we had it screwed in. And I thought, wow, this is autism. But then, like, you know, 5 minutes later, he's like any other kid. He was happy and smiling, and he's helping me do the dishes. And that's also autism. So it's just this complete, it's life, basically.
Yeah.
Autism is just like any other life. It's just maybe to the nth degree, so it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit bolder, there's probably more challenges than raising a typical child, but it's still, it's just life.
Right. And how are you? What are their interests? What are your son's interests?
Well, Nicholas is into baseball.
Okay.
And
Is he a White Sox or a Cubs fan?
he likes both. He likes everything.
Oh,
he likes
great.
Rockies, White Sox, Cubs. He just likes baseball.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, he loves baseball. And he's hoping to pitch this year. He's on
Great.
on a little league team
Great.
in town. So he's
That's great.
he's hanging with his peers,
Right.
basically.
That's good.
And then Nathan's just he's into food.
Food. What kind? What are his favorite foods?
He loves vegetables.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, last night I caught him stealing the squash off his brother's plate.
Oh, wow.
And his brother was Nicholas was encouraging him, because he's like, I heard him whispering like, yeah, Nate, you can take it, you can take it. Because Nicholas hates vegetables, so yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. What kind of schools do they go to?
Well, they're both in public schools in the North Shore.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And do they go for a full day then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're in regular schools,
Wow.
regular hours. Nicholas is mainstreamed.
Wow.
And Nathan's in special education classes.
Sure. And what are they good at in school in terms of?
Well, Nicholas is just an excellent student. He's really gifted in science and math. And outside of school construction, he's just his mind can take pieces of Lego and construct these incredible buildings. He's created a stadium that it's supposed to be Wrigley Field.
Oh, wow.
And but he did it all. Like, he can just imagine, he sees the picture in his mind, and then he can put it together, and it really comes to life. And Nathan's into, you know, when the weather's nice, he likes to ride on his scooter, and I'll ride the bike along with him. We take him to the skateboard park, and, you know, he's just really active. But when it's cold, he prefers to be inside.
So, Lynn, I understand you have a website. What is it called, and what does it involve?
Yeah, it's www.thisisautism, faces from puzzle.com. So I want people's stories and their pictures. I'm looking for both from a wide variety of people, wide on the spectrum. I mean, I want to capture the whole face of autism. Like, what is it? What does that mean to you as a parent? What does that mean to you as a person with autism? What does that mean, you know, if you're a therapist? What does autism mean to you? I really wanted to be a celebration of not only the individual, but also the autism community, because I think we have a great story to share. And our kids are great. You know, they deserve to be out there.
Right. And are you, you know, with this project, I know there's this woman, Temple Grand, and would you contact her?
I don't know if I'm going to contact her, because she's so out there. There's also like quite a few others. But I want to maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I see this more as it's not about, it's about just the average person with autism and their stories and a celebration, and to let, you know, if you're a parent and your child's newly diagnosed with autism, I hope that somebody will give them a copy of this book, or maybe they go online and they see it and they realize that they're not alone. And that in the beginning, the diagnosis can be really scary, and you'll think that, oh wow, my kid has no future, you know, because what you're told often by doctors is that your child will never smile. They'll probably never say they love you. I mean, it's so negative. It's so utterly depressing and devastating. But it's challenging, yes, but kids with autism, they're just like everyone else.
And is the book published yet? Or when?
No.
Okay.
No. Right now I'm just collecting stories and pictures. I'm going to go out to LA in about 3 weeks to Autism Speaks. They have a walk at the Rose Bowl. And so I have a table, and I'm going to be spreading the word about the project. On the website, you do have the ability to upload your pictures and your story. And you know, high quality pictures. They can be from your iPhone, but you just need, or your smartphone, but they just need to be like the highest possible setting.
You know, there are a lot of people in the disability community who don't have access to the email, they don't have access to computers, and how are you going to reach out to them?
Well, that will be just a lot of getting out into the community and letting people know about the project. I'm networking with people from the different ethnic communities right now who I know, like, they have children with autism, and I'm asking them to be an ambassador and to get the word out. And then, you know, they could accept pictures and stories and then send it to me, or I could go get them. There's definitely ways to get around if you don't have access to a computer.
Okay. I think I've asked what I wanted to ask, but what else would you like to talk about while you have the time?
Well, I don't know. I'm just really passionate about this project.
What are your son's plans for the future? I mean, are they done there?
Well, Nick's plans change. He wanted to play for the Cubs at one time. And then he realized he probably wasn't good enough to play for the Cubs, but he hoped to play for high school.
That's good.
No, it was college. And then now he's like, well, I don't know if I'm good enough to play for college, but I want to play for high school. So he's planning to try out for his high school baseball team, which makes me scared. But
if you
I don't want him to get bullied.
Life,
I don't know. I'm like so protective of him. And then Nathan, I don't really know what his future holds. His future's, I don't want to say is not as bright, because that really diminishes him as a person. But he's nonverbal, and you know, I don't know what his future holds. So his future is a lot scarier.
But I think it's, you know, with this project, I think you're going to connect with people, and you're going to, you know, be around people so they can maybe it will look brighter.
I hope so. I mean, I believe in him. It's just,
Right,
you know, as
no.
any parent, if you have a child with special needs, you worry about, like, what's going to happen when I die, or what happens when I am too old to take care of them,
Right,
and
no.
you know, how am I going to ensure that they have access to community, which is important. I mean, that's like within all the disability community,
Right.
and then the cuts that are going on in government.
Yeah.
And you know, when it comes to helping adults with disabilities, I think we really do a poor job
Great.
integrating people into the communities and having resources and activities
Right.
that are available, because everyone wants to be part of a community.
Right.
Everyone wants to be loved. It doesn't matter. We all have the same desires
Right, yeah,
as typical people.
right. Okay, well, thank you so much, Lynn.
Thank
Is there
you.
anything else you wanted to?
No, I really appreciate the
Appreciate it.
opportunity, and I hope that
Please welcome
people
back.
will send the story and pictures, and you know, you can contact me via the website too.
Okay, and please say the website again.
It's www.thisisautismfacesfrompuzzle.com.
Great, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Lynn Pedotto, and I'm with Adaptive Chicago Productions. I was sitting here just a few minutes ago with Rob Rotman, but now we have Will Cowing, who is also on staff with Adaptive Chicago Productions, and he'd like to talk about DeGeorge Syndrome, which has affected his granddaughter, and it's a syndrome that I certainly wasn't aware of, and I'm sure many of you out in our audience have never heard of either. So welcome, Will.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's DeGeorge, D-I-G-E-O-R-G-E,
Okay.
and there are websites on that that you can look up. There's a hospital in Philadelphia that's, I don't remember the name offhand, that specializes in it. But Boston, the Boston Hospital that's famous, is one that my daughter has been taking our granddaughter to mostly for this. And the DeGeorge syndrome involves mostly the hearts and the arteries. When she was born, we noticed there was no feeling in the leg or something, and there was a disconnect between the artery that blood flows down to the leg, so they had to operate immediately and put a shunt in to connect the artery to the leg. Then that was okay. Then there were 3 holes in the heart. So she had 3 operations to heal an open heart surgery. But actually, and then there was another shunt again, where there was a disconnect between a couple of arteries. But those shunt operations, they said, were much more difficult and challenging than just the holes in the heart, which is surprising.
Well, does she have normal mobility? Can she walk? And does it affect?
Yeah, she was fine. She, you know, as she grows up, she has more and more operations to correct various things, and she can walk. But DeGeorge children are notoriously quiet and non-talking. So my daughter Ruth worked with her on that, and there was a problem right now with the nose. They had to adjust an operation in there so that she would breathe correctly, and that meant that she could speak better. And this involved an operation that was close to the cardiac artery right here, so they had to be very careful in that. And that was debated, should we have that operation or not, because of the nearness to the artery. And then the doctor said, oh no, I know what I'm doing. They had that. Now she speaks very well.
Okay.
And for a long time she was, you know, she goes one operation, then there was the knee operations. So all these operations, and I have to give my daughter tremendous help because she just did so much. They ran back and forth to Boston again and again, and from Rochester, New York, for these operations. They were, the car had 190,000 miles on it, you know, just from going back and forth to Boston. So it was, and Claire just eventually, as things started going, and she had operations that were not as life-threatening or as dangerous, just on the knees and things. So she just got sort of a laissez-faire attitude toward them. And then finally things start straightening out. She graduates from high school. She's in her first year of college now. And she's got her first boyfriend.
Okay, and Claire's your granddaughter.
Right, Claire is the granddaughter and Ruth is the daughter.
Okay, how old is Claire?
She's 20 now.
20, okay.
Yeah.
And so she's in college now. What's she studying?
Well, her main thing is art, apparently. She has to take some general courses now. Stephen Drake, who was at a Progress Center. They've moved out to Rochester, and I talked to him, and he said that a lot of times with kids with disabilities, they have long suits, the things that they're good at, and then other things that they just don't have any talent whatsoever. He says, you just got to go with the long suit. Whatever she's good at, that's what you got to stress. And she's good at art. She's good at painting. She's good at working with children. Math, forget it. Yeah. So Ruth has spent an enormous amount of time coaching her on math. You know, so some subjects she has no problem at all, and other subjects, forget it. You know.
Yeah, well, that's actually sounds a lot like me and a lot of people I know. You know, we all have our strong points, and we seem to naturally emphasize what we really like and what's easier, and then what's like math.
Yeah, right.
It's like, ooh, nope, don't want to do that.
Right. So Ruth, you know, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Right. She had all these operations, and things eventually, you know, come around. She starts, you know, and you used to, how are you doing, Claire? Okay, you know, one-word answers. Now she starts to have conversations with her, and she asks you questions, you know, and she's got a boyfriend, and she asks me questions about autism. So she might talk to you. She wants to understand what he's going through, you know, and you know, it's just a whole different gradual evolution if you just have the patience and the time with it. And my daughter and her husband did, and you just got to hold on. That's all I can say about it.
Well, I know Greenspan, who was a renowned, I think he was a doctor, but then he really worked with kids with autism. But one of the things he said was that it doesn't really matter when your child meets your milestones. It's just having faith that they're gonna meet it, and they're gonna grow, and they're gonna develop, and you know, we continue to grow and develop throughout our life. So it sounds like she's definitely blossomed and is growing. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, finally, you know, she was just so that she didn't have friends for the longest time, and then there was a friend that she had, and that mother had diabetes, and the girl had all kinds of problems, and Claire hung out with her, and she came over to the house, and then so she introduced her to her friends, you know, and so Claire was sort of accepted with them, and then eventually she started being able to get along with other kids and talk to them, and you know, not just give one-word answers and laugh, and it's you just have to be patient, and things sort of work out. It's just a lot of times something will happen. There was a case on the south side, the Chicago Agricultural School. This woman that teaches a class does something with horses, and we're trying to get her on, and she had a girl there that had a severe case of autism the guy who met the horse and just bonded with the horse, and all of a sudden she started talking, and there was just this huge change. So you never know what's going to happen with these kind of kids. You know, it's just one thing or another if you're just patient.
Well, Claire sounds like an amazing young lady, and you must be so proud of her, and definitely proud of your daughter Ruth for the
thank you.
For the wonderful job she's done. And I understand Ruth puts on a film festival every year too.
Well, she has several film festivals. She does one a Jewish film festival, she does one a children's film festival, and she does one on mental illness.
Okay.
And she did do one on women who want to be Catholic priests.
Oh, wow.
So every time I go to Rochester, I go to a different film festival that she's putting on. I said, why don't you just combine them, you know, just have mentally ill Jewish children or something. So I'd like to get Ruth to come on this show when she's in town, but she's never in long enough, unfortunately.
That would be a great show.
Yeah.
And wow, she sounds like an incredible woman.
Yeah.
Incredible woman. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add about your family and or DeGeorge Syndrome? Anything else you'd like our audience to know?
Well, you can. There are websites on it, And the websites go into what you can expect about. And it isn't always the same. You don't. Every child doesn't have the holes in the heart. They don't always have the shunts, but there are a lot of similarities. And one of the things is a real shyness. They just don't want to have conversations and talk. And it may be because they have difficulty speaking because of the sinus problems and that can be corrected. But you have to find a place where the doctor really knows what they're doing. And fortunately at the Boston Hospital, they'd had some great doctors, and we spent a lot of time going back and forth there. Ruth mostly, they drove back and forth, and they got all these operations through, and they stayed at the McDonald's house and everything.
Oh, wow.
And they worked it out, and you can go to Philadelphia where they specialize in DeGeorge, and if you look at the websites on it, you'll get the information, and you just have to have enough patience, and then you have a child like Claire who's now starting to blossom. After all these times, it's just the emotional development is premature because she's in the hospital so much, and then after a few years she starts going, coming around, and things get better, and this is what you look forward to.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, and what a happy story. I'm so glad she's doing well, and I hope she continues. In fact, I'm sure she will continue to grow and develop and blossom as time goes on. And thank you so much for joining us today. This is Lynn Pedotto with Adaptive Chicago Productions.